I'm not sure I'm gonna make it.
All right, everybody, welcome. Real School Wednesday Lunch and Learn Training. Got a pretty packed house today. Thank you guys for hanging out. Also, we got some bunch of people on Zoom. We have Mr. Adrian from Fairway to come up here and talk a little bit about what he's got going on. Come up, please.
Can I get my intro?
Yeah.
So y'all, Adrian is phenomenal. And he's the reason why I became a work zone officer.
All right,
And
nice.
he's awesome. Even if you don't work with him, he knows his stuff, and he's always been a pleasure to work with. And I thank him for all that he does for him. So that's Adrian. He does solve all the problems.
Miss Hart just put me on the slide.
So good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody.
There you go.
Good morning.
And thank you all for taking the time out of your business schedule to come. This is real talk. I work for Fairway Independent Mortgage. Here's one of the things that I love to tell people. The reason why I went to this company, because I've worked for a couple of companies before. I've learned a lot of stuff. I know a lot of stuff, but I don't know everything. However, I have a team that knows quite a bit more than me, which is shocking to me. Right? It's really shocking to me, right? So I'm finding out stuff as we go about some things that I'm like, no, I knew this rule, but no underwriter would ever do this before, right? So I'll give you an example. I had a client several months back, he come to me and he has a part-time job with a gap, right? Most underwriters will tell you that if you have a gap in employment on a part-time job over 2 years, you can't use it, right? Now, here's the thing they can't tell you. Where is that rule? It is not in the rule book. I've been knowing that for years, but no matter how I point it out to an underwriter, they'll say, no, this is the rule. At this company, they actually followed that rule, right? They took a guy who, he worked, what is it, one of the Grub Hub or something like that. He worked there for 2 years, and then he transitioned to another part-time job at Harris Teeter, right? The 2 years that he worked that part-time job, he made a total of $2,000, which makes me think this is really not a part-time job. But they gave him credit for it, right? And it helped him qualify, which was amazing to me, right? Because again, I know the rules there, but most underwriters will not follow that rule. There's quite a few things that they are really, really great at that is still amazing to me to this day. They fight to keep a loan alive, right? So I've always been the type of person whenever I do a loan, if there's a problem, I figure the problem out, I call you and say, we got a problem, but guess what? I got a solution, right? I have a team that also helps me, which makes things even better, right? Because I'm always trying to figure out, hey, how did this happen? How did this happen? How do we come up with this problem? But I always try to figure out a reason or something to mitigate it. So when I call you, we're still moving, we're going to hit the closing date. Fairway has a lot of products. One of the things that is exciting to me, I haven't done one yet, is their renovation loan, right? That means you can find this beautiful house with a terrible kitchen, which a lot of clients will say, no, I love the house, can't stand the kitchen. Well, you really can't afford to find other houses. This is great for your budget. Renovation loan will take care of that, right? You need a 620 for USDA, VA, FHA, and conventional. That's a great product if you do run across a client like that. We also offer some commercial lending. We can do. We broker that out. But those people break their neck because we do so much business with. I was just getting ready to do a daycare in Goldsboro. I'm gonna do a daycare for 1.3 million. Right. And it's hard to find places that will lend on stuff like that. We do the DSCR, that service coverage ratio, that is pretty much for investors. We do a great job with that. We go down to 580 for the FHA and VA. On exception, we have some programs where we can look at them if they're a little bit below the 580, but I will caution you on that. Anytime they're below 580, there's a reason that they're below 580. But normally you need to put 10% down on the FHA loan. They even have some programs that can help clients with that if it's in you get in some kind of bind and find out you got a major issue. Okay. The biggest thing is the underwriting. They got common sense. they're looking for a reason to save your loan. They are looking for a reason to save the loan. I've worked at companies before where underwriters was trying to figure out how not to get a loan with us. They came up with what I call feel-good conditions. Like I had an underwriter tell me before, not in family, but I had an underwriter tell me that I need to get a pay stub 30 days after closing for a client on a VA loan. And I was like, okay, where's that in the rule book? Please show me. Because I always say, please show me. That's why I say I know a lot, but I don't know everything. Because I'm always asking the question, what's going on? That's not an issue here. That's not an issue here, right? And that's huge, especially when the market has contracted, right? The rules have been tightened up. So it's a little bit harder to get loans that should have been easy to go through. It's a little bit harder to get those to go through back. All right. One of the things you'll love about me is my availability. Right. So I actually work Monday through Saturday and sometimes Sunday, depending on what you need from me. Uh, I'm available for the client. I will return all phone calls within 24 hours. Right. If they call me 8 o'clock today, they're gonna have a call by 8 o'clock tomorrow night. They will not, I will not, no matter how bad things are for that client, I'm not gonna not talk to them. I'm gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna definitely have a conversation with you. Right. So my reputation is built on I've saved a lot of loans. What happens is a lot of people send loans to me because they sent them to this place and they told them one thing, now they need somebody to save them. Right. So I save a lot because again, I actually have the FHA rules sitting on my desk at home. Right. Even though I know the rule, I still will go through and look and say, yep, just like I said. Right. So I keep trying to update myself. I'm with a great company. They give great support. You're gonna get from this company some support that I've never seen in this industry before. I have an operations manager. She worked over this weekend on a loan amount. She worked over this. We had a hiccup, right, with the client's DTI. And we found out that the client had some issues with one of their payments. Once we got the payment in to see it, and she worked with me to get that resolved. That's over the weekend. Most operations managers at 5:30, that's it. They're gone. And she's pregnant, which is really says a lot for me. Because I'm like, what are you doing? And I don't want you to go in labor because of me. Your husband's gonna be mad at me. Come on, the baby's gonna be mad at me. Come on, right? So this is just a team effort. It's something that I've never seen before. They make sure they close on time. They make sure that is huge for this company. I've worked at companies before where it was like, hey, it is what it is. They just got to do this. This company fights to make sure all your loans close on time. It's some wonderful people that I work for. It's an even better company. I'm available until 7:30 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Right. That's because I know at any time a real estate agent might want to put in an offer. They can't put in an offer for a home the next day, especially when you know that if a house is in a certain price point, if you're not getting the pre-qual in a timely manner, you're going to lose that house. It doesn't work like that in this market. So I try to be there for my agents. I had an agent ask me before, when is it that a loan offer has too many loans? Right? When is it? And the answer to that is when you don't know what's happening to your client. Right? And how I found this out was I referred a client out to a company that was I referred them out to the manager, and I knew their program because they were trying to hire me. They had already told me, here's what we do, here's what separates us. I knew their program. So I sent them to this person, and they didn't even look at that program to put the person in. That person came back to me, and I ended up closing that loan. I had to tell them, and I do this as well. I tell them how to fix their credit. I tell people how to fix their credit with the least amount of money as possible, right? So a lot of real estate agents, I don't know why, but they think FHA loans are bad loans. But you will be so amazed at the difference a FHA loan will make. They normally have better interest rate because it's a government-backed loan, right? It does ask for more, but that's to protect the client. Guess what? Real estate agents, you in it to, guess what? You want to make money, but you also want to make sure nothing happens to you. Nothing comes back on you, right? So if this program is helping the client, it's actually helping you, right? I've had two engineers. I showed them the difference between an FHA loan and a conventional. And they was like, oh my God, why would anybody take a conventional loan over FHA? Now, all they do is numbers. They're engineers, right? Guess what? They went to conventional. They went to conventional because their father said, well, you got to pay upfront mortgage insurance. They didn't realize it was financing the loan, but they went with conventional. So what I'm saying to you is, it's a lot of people that qualify. There's a lot more people that qualify for FHA loan than it will be for a conventional loan. Yes, you want a conventional loan. It's much easier. But guess what? You're self-employed, right? All money, right? If you can get a person with a 5A on a $300,000 home and you get a person with conventional, it's all the same, right? As long as you can get it, that's all you worried about. I need my pockets fat, right? Start looking at FHA. You'd be so amazed at how much more you can get, how many more people you can get up under contract and close, right? Again, Fairway Independent Mortgage is the best company I have ever worked for. I don't normally talk about companies, I talk about me, but some of the things that I've seen this company do is still makes me a little teary-eyed to this day to see how they're going back for their clients, for the clients. They make sure they keep you in communication. I'm going to be available. My availability, you can call around and ask people about me. Just want to make a close couple loans for her. She can tell you about my service. Samantha is right. Sometimes I have realtors call me up just to ask me, hey, I have this problem on this loan. How can I fix it? And I say, okay, just do this. Just do it, right? I give out information like that because I know you're in the time crunch. And guess what? I know more than anything, you're 100% commission. This is your livelihood, right? People don't understand that. We have people like, well, you got an easy job. They don't realize the people you have to deal with, you have to keep a smile on your face when you're saying the whole time, oh my God, I can't wait till this client get away from me. Right? They don't want to hear anything I'm saying. They think they know more than me, especially with Google or the Google, right? Everybody think they know more than the professionals. And I have to say, you know what? Next time you have a heart attack, make sure you ask your friend how to fix it. Don't go to the doctor. The great thing about this company is we're gonna be there for you. We're gonna get your loan done. I appreciate everything you all did for allowing me to come out today. If it's anything you need, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I have a few cards over here if you need them, and I gave you some flyers. And some lunch.
And I was gonna say,
Oh.
thank you for lunch.
Thank you. All right, you all have a great.
Well, on that note, Stephanie, I talked to one of our agents this morning. He said, I feel like a therapist. I'm like, did you not realize that they don't teach you that part? Real estate school, we are definitely side therapists, side hustles. We just don't get paid for it. So, real quick, I'm not going to take up much time because I know y'all are not going to see me. Y'all came to see Justin. So, little intro about Justin. If you don't know, he's been with us right at 2 years now. Crushed it his first year real estate. I was just having this conversation with Jacob. This morning he just passed his real estate class. Excuse me, test. Did the class and the exam, passed both, first shot. So great job. But I was telling him, you know, when Justin was an intern, he asked a lot of questions. And one of the things I remember saying was, you know, if you heard me speak at any time or know me for a long time, if you don't have something to do, let me know. I can find you something to do. There's always something to do in this job. So Justin literally took that to heart and he found different ways to grow his business. So I love the fact that when any naysayers want to say, well, I'm not that busy or I don't have that big of a sphere, I just moved here. Tried doing it fresh out of college, 23 years old, no real sphere, getting people to trust you. He just would not give up on ways to find business. So without further ado, excited to have Justin, and he's going to show you at least 100 ways to find more business. Other caveat, don't let this stress you out. We all know that we can't do 100 things all day, every day, even though we try and we feel like that's what our to-do list looks like.
He's gonna give you examples and find the things that are most exciting to you, double down on those, and then make sure you're cycling in some of the other things so your business is not dependent in just only one area. So, come on, Justin.
Bro, I didn't know I was gonna be so pasty white. When I had my picture up on the screen, my name is Justin. That was a very nice introduction from April. If you don't know me, I'm on April's team, top buyer's agent here. I'm 18 months into the business, about to close transaction number 40, over $10 million in volume. Was just featured as a triangle producer, realtor on the rise, and was just put on Tom Ferry's Global 30 Under 30 list. So a lot happening, very, very grateful, so many people to thank. But I feel like the real estate industry is such a roller coaster, right? Our businesses look like this, and it's up and it's down, and we close 6 one month, and then we don't have anything the next month. And the truth about that is because we can't separate income servicing from income producing. Income servicing and income producing. Income servicing is reviewing an inspection report with buyers that are already under contract, or talking to a seller's parents about, yeah, they need new carpet. Sorry to be the bad guy, but we got to replace the carpet in the whole house, right? That's income servicing, working on business that we already have. But income producing is working to find new business, right? The beautiful thing about this job is there's no limit on how much money we can make. Also, there's a lot of people in this industry that make $0 because we have to stay income producing, because every time we have a closing, we put ourselves out of business, right? One of the only careers where that happens. So we always have to be income producing. And the truth about it, I'll be so real with you, nothing bad is going to happen to your business before 10:30 every day. Between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. every day, I'm working on finding new business for myself. If I don't reply to an email until 10:35, nothing bad is going to happen. If I don't get to post on social media until 10:35 about a listing I had that just went active, nothing bad is going to happen.
Why 10:35?
Well, I go from 8 to 10:30 every day, and then I normally call my mom and my grandma and yap for a few minutes, and then I start my day on income servicing, right? And if you spend enough time in the morning, 2.5 hours every single day on finding new business, the rest of the day will take care of itself. You'll have appointments with people that you're already working with and booking new appointments. So I'm ready to get into this. Keith, if
All right,
you are.
I am,
Perfect.
maybe.
So there are some truths about this business as well. Number one, this is a conversation-based business. We're selling houses, yes, but every single day our job is to have conversations about real estate with people that may or may not be interested in buying or selling, or maybe it's meeting with lenders or meeting with insurance agents. This is about conversations. The people who do the most business have the most conversations. That's just a fact. If you look at some of the top 5 people in this industry, they spend majority of their days conversating about real estate. If you're not doing enough business, you're not having enough conversations. This business is about knowing what to say, when to say it, and who to say it to. I'm going to make sure I cover all of that. But it's great to have the at-bats, right? It's great to book the appointment, but if you don't know what to say when you get there, swing and a miss, right? A blind acorn, a blind squirrel is going to find an acorn every now and then, right? We'll get lucky every now and then. But if we go up to bat and we don't know how to swing, we're going to strike out. So I spend a lot of my time focusing on what to say, when to say it, and who to say it to, right?
Can you tell the Tom Cruise thing that you told me last time you were teaching?
Oh, yeah. So I was like 2 months into the business, and Tina Call said to me, they told Tom Cruise at a young age, if you learn your scripts, you can make millions of dollars as an actor. Same thing for us. If I learn my scripts, I know what to say, when to say it, how to say it, and who to say it to. I can make millions of dollars as a real estate agent.
Very powerful stuff.
Your business will reward you when you feed it consistently. It is like a baby. If you go read about Mark Cuban, if you go read about anybody else on Shark Tank, or you go read about Elon Musk, or anyone else that's built a ginormous business, they talk about treating their business like a baby. It's their number one focus for a lot of years. And for a majority of them, it still is. The people who are doing the most business are the people who are the most consistent in feeding their business. That's what we're going to cover today, how to do income producing activities. And then the 6 D's of real estate: death, debt, divorce, diamonds, diapers, and dividends. Those are the people we have to find. So diapers and death, people being born, their house gets too small, or people dying, they have to sell off grandma's estate, right? Divorce and diamonds, people no longer married or people starting to get married. And then debt or dividends, people in a lot of debt, or people who are starting to make more money at work, or just find out Grandma Mary left them a trust fund with a lot of money. Now they want to start investing in some real estate. Those are the people we have to find. Yes, there are people doing real estate business outside of that, right? But the 60s of real estate, these are the majority of people who are involved in real estate deals. And then lastly, this business is a law of averages. Sometimes you will make 5 appointments a day. Sometimes you will make 0. That is part of it. There are days when I don't make any appointments. There are days when I make 3 or 4 appointments. That is normal. That is the roller coaster. But if you're consistent over a long period of time, your bank account will reflect that. I'm ready when you're ready. So there's 5 main pillars of when business has stopped. I have nobody calling me, nobody texting me, no emails coming in, no offers on anything. What do I do now, right? So there's 5 places that I'm going to attack. 1, my sphere of influence and my past clients. Number 2 is a Zillow market analysis. Number 3 is I'm going to revive old leads. I'm going to circle dial, and then number 5 is a letter I have called I have a buyer. So talk to 5 people in your sphere or past clients a day. And here's what I want you to say. Colleen, can you role play this with me? No, it's okay. You just be, I'm calling you.
Okay.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Colleen, it's Justin. Look, I'm calling on business, so I'll keep it short. I'm working with buyers in Fuquay, and we can't find anything they're looking for. Who do you know that's considering selling?
My neighbor said something down the street that they might be looking to sell. They're just thinking about it though. I'm not sure.
That's how those conversations go. If you have 5 of those a day, you're going to see your business explode. You're setting the expectation up front. Hey, look, I'm calling on business. I'll keep it short. And then that prevents some of the dull conversation because we have past clients. This is the South. We have past clients that want to tell you about this, that, and the third, and we don't really have time to get into that, right? We've got a lot of stuff to blow through. We're touching in with past clients. We're touching in with our sphere, people from church, people I went to college with, all of those people, super quick. And I'm looking for introductions, right? So if they know someone, I'm going to ask for the introduction. I'm going to say, oh my gosh, could you start a group text? Or can you send me their contact info? They're going to say yes, because as a society, we are snitches. We love to tell them people. That is the truth about us. We're going to tell them people quick. So if I call someone and say, hey, who do you know? They're going to be like, oh, you know what? Actually, this person. And if they say no, okay, great. Well, look, you know, I sell real estate in the area. So if there's anyone you know that needs to buy or sell, I would love the referral. And then I'm going to go, oh, by the way, how are the boys? Oh my gosh, by the way, has that Chick-fil-A that they're building right across from your mom's house or whatever, has that opened yet? Those things, because what I'm doing is I'm starting the conversation, I'm asking for the business, and then I can make it personal at the end, right? We can keep it short, we're in control of the conversation, keep it short and sweet. And so I'm saying, do you know anyone? I'm asking for referrals, personal, and then I got to roll, right? And then if they do say, yes, I know this person, if it's been 24 hours and no intro has been made, I will text, right? And this is, if you haven't read the books on What to Say, Exactly What to Say as a Real Estate Agent, that is a fantastic book. It's a book full of magic words for us to say. One of them is, I'm sure you haven't gotten around to X. So I'll say, I'm sure you haven't gotten around to introducing me to your neighbor who's considering selling in Fuquay. That's totally fine. I just wanted to reach out and remind you. And they're going to be like, oh my gosh, yes, today got away from me. Here's their number. The conversation ends, like I said, asking about something personal. And then you're staying in front of them. It's super easy. It's super quick. And you're going to find yeses, right? This business is about finding people who will say yes. Yes, let's sit down and talk about my new value. Yes, let's get me out of this lease and into a house, right? That's what we're looking for, is people finding the yeses. And if you talk to 5 people a day, that's 25 people in your sphere or past clients a week. Can you imagine what would happen to your business, right? We would have so much referral business with people that may have forgot. We may have saw them at the closing table and then we haven't talked to them again. Well, it's 4 years and they're getting a divorce or they're having kids or they got a new job and they're making a ton of money and they're like, oh my gosh, Kristen, thank you so much for calling. I actually have been considering selling. It's not anybody I know, but we are thinking about selling. You know, I got this new job. We can afford a lot more, right? We're finding those yeses. I'm ready for you, Keith. Other way.
Oh, I don't know what it's doing. How do I go back the other way?
There we go. Questions about that? Plugging to our sphere, getting in front of them in a way that we're bringing value. Because also what we're doing too is showing them, like, the average person knows 8 real estate agents. How many people are getting calls from other realtors being like, hey, I've got some buyers and we just can't find what they're looking for. If we're doing that too, we're showing people like, hey, I'm working harder than all the other real estate agents, you know, because I'm calling people that live in Fuquay, because these people need to be in Fuquay and I can't find anything.
Ready?
Mhm. The ZMA, the Zillow market analysis. Send this to 5 people in your database each day. What I want you to do, I want you to take a screenshot of someone's estimate. I literally have a spreadsheet of addresses, past clients, people in my database. Go to Zillow, screenshot their estimate, and text it to them. Hey Keith, you're gonna love this. I was on Zillow earlier today checking out your house, and then send another text with the screenshot of their estimate. Since you bought this house in 2018, Zillow estimates your home value has increased $100,000. What do you think? I have my opinion, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. All we're doing is starting the conversation. People don't know what they don't know, right? It's our job to help them. So we're texting them, right? We're reaching out, sometimes scary, talking to people in our database about that. But we're coming with value. We're not coming to, hey, do you know anybody that's for ourselves, right? We're coming with some value. I am 24, so you can imagine, you know, everybody out of college with is a homeowner, right? No one owns a house. So my database is limited, but what I do is I will print it out and I will write on the sticky note, would you consider selling for 10% more of your estimate? So I take a screenshot on the computer of someone's estimate, I print it out, write it there, give them my phone number. And it's a way to farm, right? I'm farming, I'm getting in front of people, I'm starting conversations. Because people are gonna reach out to you. Hey, we got your letter. You know, actually, we do have to move back to New Jersey. My husband's mom is sick or whatever, right? Actually, we are thinking about selling sometime next year. We're gonna send our kids to a private school in Cary, so we need to be on the other side of Raleigh, right? We're just starting conversations with these. Like I said in the beginning, this is a conversation-based business. Hand address it. Hand address gets a lot more opens. So I hand address everything. I don't hand address this. I actually just ordered a bunch of them because I do a ton of farming. I ordered a bunch of them that are already addressed, but with the return address. But if you write it, you're gonna get a lot more opens. And you guys are probably like, oh my gosh, that is so true. Every time AT&T sends me something, I don't open it because I know that everybody in the neighborhood's getting it. But if it's hand addressed, you're like, wait a minute, is this something I should see?
Yeah. Oh, no, go ahead.
Are you sending just to door pass, or can you, like, we can see when somebody has bought a house, so we can do it to just bid?
Yep, there's a street in Window Falls that I really want a listing on. They've got 3 from me. I've gotten 3 calls. All of them have been people who like I've just add to my CRM and I'm gonna nurture them. Those are gonna be like next summer kind of deals, just because they just recently bought, but they just want a bigger yard for their 2 German Shepherds and Australian Shepherd and all that. So
Question in the comment. Question is there a streamlined way of doing this rather than, so I've been on Zillow, but I'm just trying to picture it.
yeah,
You could pull up the map and just start clicking on houses, right? You don't have to put in an address and start searching,
Yep.
right?
exactly.
And then comment, great tool because he's sending this out and asking people if they'd be willing to sell for 10% more. And maybe it's not the right time to get that 10% more, but he could put that back on the back burner and bring it back up later once that 10% gets made up. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, if it needs to be $50,000 more, Justin has it on his spreadsheet and all of a sudden he sees that house went up by $50,000 more. He could reach back up and say, hey, remember when you said you'd sell for 10% more than that? Well, guess what? Now your house is worth that. So it gives another reason to reach back out. I like that.
Yep, I'm good for the next. And then I'll take the other next one.
Any other questions?
I know somebody who's taken 25 listings. This is all they do. They've completely stopped cold calling. They're taking 25 listings this year from sending these out to low turnover neighborhoods where people don't sell, and people in neighborhoods that aren't farmed a lot, like have 1 or 2 dominant agents, and they're getting a ton of business. Reviving old leads, scary, right? Is this like, oh my gosh, these people forgot me? I met them in an open house 6 months ago. Ooh, do they remember me? Doesn't matter. Call them anyways. 10 a day. Can you imagine if you talk to 10 old leads in your database every single day? We're just looking for the yes, right? We're this conversation-based business, like I said in the beginning, we're looking for the yes. Old seller leads, old buyer leads, people at an open house, previous lead line calls if you're on a team, if you have your own lead line, people who may have inquired through social media. All I want you to do is say, hey, It's Justin, I'm with eXp Realty. We were working together recently. I'm not putting a date on it. We could have met 2 years ago. I'm not telling you it was 2 years ago. I'm just saying recently. I'm just updating my notes. What are your real estate goals for the next 12 months? If you have conversations like that, conversations about real estate, you're gonna find a yes. 10 people in your database, that's 50 old leads in your database. And these can be from 6 years ago, right? And they signed a lease. We don't know where they are. Maybe they're still renting, maybe they bought a house with another realtor, doesn't matter. Maybe they haven't got their real estate license. Who knows? Talk to them anyways, conversations about real estate, you're gonna find a yes in this. I have an offer out right now. $550,000 house, I get to sell their $400,000 house in Clayton. Because I called them, we met last Mother's Day. So 14, 16 months ago. And now we've been looking for the last 30 days. And we have an offer out and I'll get to list their house. And it's just about finding the yes, right? Because what's happening in these people's lives? Same thing with us in our personal life is we get to the point where, oh my gosh, I cannot hear the kids fight about having one sink anymore. Or I cannot deal with this small sink in my kitchen anymore. There's always a trigger, right? Something triggers that call, something triggers them to reach out to you the first time, or something triggers them to go to that open house. And there's a really high chance that if they haven't bought or they haven't sold, there's still that same thing happening again, right? They're still hearing the kids fight about the one sink in the bathroom, or whatever the issue is. The yard is still too small for the dog. We're just looking for the yes. And then if they don't answer, I send a text, and then I'll call and text again the next day. I'm annoying, but it works. People will, if you have a lead that's not responding, I'll finally just be like, is this Kristen? And they'll finally be like, oh yes, sorry, everything has been so chaotic lately. We're still thinking about buying, little things like that. Then I'll pick up the phone and call them. Hey, sorry, I'm driving. I'm not driving. Hey, sorry, I'm driving. It would just been easier to call you. And just talk. Just have the conversations. What questions about reviving old leads? Sweet. Circle dialing. Cold calls, everyone's favorite, right? I think after the NAR settlement, the second favorite thing with real estate is cold calling, right? That was a joke, you can laugh. So 10 contacts a day while you're circle dialing. Purchase a dialer, Vulcan, Mojo, RedX, Espresso Agent. Don't panic, this is the South, people are nice. You get hung up on, people say, I'm not interested, click. That's okay, we're looking for the yes, right? And what I want you to say is, Kristen, can you role play this with me? Ring, ring. Hey, Kristen, it's Justin. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Look, I'm with eXp Realty. I have a buyer looking for a home in your neighborhood, but we can't find anything they like. Who in your neighborhood should I know that might be considering making a move? Easy as that. Kristen doesn't know me. I don't know Kristen. I got her information from my dialer. But I'm starting the conversation like we already know each other. Because what Kristen is doing is saying, should I know this person? Wait, am I supposed to know? This Justin. So now they're really paying attention, right? Because we get calls all the time of, do your car's extended warranty and do you want to do this and that and yada yada yada. So most cold calls were like click. But now I'm starting in a way of, oh, we already know each other. So she's like, wait a minute, I feel like I should know this person, right? If no, after the call, just send a text with your digital business card and say, if you hear of anyone, can you have them contact me? That's all you have to do. And then if yes, ask for the introduction and then contact that person. Say, hey, it's Justin, snitch, Kristen told me I should contact you. We love to tell on our friends, right? So I'm gonna name drop. Kristen told me I should contact you. I'm with eXp Realty. I have some buyers looking for a home in your neighborhood. And she said you've been considering a move. All we're doing is looking for the yes, right? We're just looking for people to raise their hand. You know what? Yeah, we actually kind of are. You know what? Yeah, we were gonna call our realtor next week, but if you have a buyer, we'd love for you to come out. I do. I always have a buyer, right? I always have a cash buyer. My company offers cash buyers all the time. And I always have people that are looking for houses, right? And I get there. Unfortunately, it's not a good fit, but tell me more about your move. When I'm walking around, touring the house with them, and these types of listing appointments, my traditional listing appointment, I ask for the 5-minute tour of the house. I do not need to see every little thing, but these, I want them to show me every single small thing. I want them to tell me the story of building the stone around the grill and how it took all summer because her husband's lazy. That's what I want. I need all those stories. And while I'm doing it, I'm walking around, oh, what if you were to move? Where would you move? Oh, well, we have a house at the beach. We've been thinking about selling here anyways. We're both retired. Those types of things. And then I can in turn use that as leverage when I'm talking about selling. I don't have a buyer, but I could probably find you a tunnel with the sounding art. We'll cast a wide net. And now at this point, we're signing listing paperwork. Ready?
Quick comment, how powerful scripts, one of the early things I learned in the real estate business, this right here, this question, notice that it's not a yes, no. You're always asking, who do you know, not do you know, because a yes, no question gives them a very easy way out versus them actually having to think and say, well, hold on a second, do I know anybody? Because like I said, if you say yes or no, they're like automatically, oh, no, I don't know anybody.
Can I ask about, making sure you're not calling somebody when you do not call listing? So how does that work with the guys?
Your dollar will tell you.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. Yep, your dollar will tell you. I love Vulcan, and you have to you can purchase the premium numbers for like, I don't know, $50 extra a month. And that gives you a very extensive list of numbers for like the property, and you just call through that. Same thing if I'm gonna circle out when I close a house in a neighborhood, I'm circled out in the entire neighborhood. We know when one house sells, typically two more follow, right? I'm just looking for the yes. Yeah. Oh, the magic buyer letter. I have a listing coming on tomorrow. I sent them 3 magic buyer letters, $35,000 in commission income. From 3 sets of magic buyer letters to 30 homes in a part of a neighborhood that I wanted to break into. 50 a day to your neighborhood, to the neighborhood beside you, a neighborhood you're trying to break into. I live in Wendell Falls. I've been trying to get into Wendell Falls. That's the listing that's coming tomorrow. Hand address again. Send it 3 times in a row. People need to hear things 3 times. Do you remember in elementary school when they talk about stop, drop, and roll over and over and over and over? And now in my adult life, I thought I was going to have to deal with that a lot more, and I never have. But we talk about it all the time, right? But it's people need to hear things over and over again. So send them. I have a buyer, and I can send it to Keith, and he can send it out. I'll show you my exact template. And then when they call, what I'm doing, I'm finding the motivation, right? I'm doing a bit of pre-qualification. Oh, well, if you were to move, where would you go? Right? The same thing is when people call you and say, hey, Colleen gave me your number. She said you're a realtor. We've been thinking about making a move. Oh, where would you move to? All of those things. How long have you lived there? Dig as deep as you can and book the appointment. My number one goal when I get a call from a buyer letter is to get the appointment.
And this is the same script as far as I have a buyer, but they can't find that wants to get into your neighborhood, but can't find anything.
Exactly. Yep. And if you want to really get in the weeds, circle out a part of a neighborhood and then send them the letter. You can do that for your neighborhood, the neighborhood beside you, a neighborhood you're trying to break into. This works. I have several listings in the pipeline, one coming on tomorrow from these letters. It's all about getting the yes, right? We're getting people to raise their hand. Hey, us actually. If you have a buyer. And then on the flip side of that, is think about now when we have to meet with buyers before we show them any homes, they meet with someone who doesn't have any off markets, or they meet with me, and I have 5 off markets right now. People that are like, we're not ready to go on the market, but if you had the perfect buyer, absolutely. So then I go and I meet with buyers, and I'm like, oh, let me show you my list of off markets that I have. Access to homes that no one else in this market has. Who do you think they're signing at full commission with? Right? I'm good.
Let's see the comment from the chat. What if you don't have a buyer when they call you back? I think you kind of said you turned the conversation from like, oh, it doesn't work, or this one's not gonna work.
Yeah, so I always say, okay, well, can I come and take a look? It's either my clients are always out of town, or my clients like for me to go and preview homes before them. They have extremely busy schedules. Can I come out and take a look? Whatever I can do to book the appointment, right? And when I'm getting these calls and I'm intaking these calls, what's happening is I'm kind of figuring out their personality, right? We, as agents, we deal with all kinds of different people pretty quickly. We can decide, who's a teacher, who's an engineer, who's an attorney, who's an accountant, right? So what I'm doing is I'm based off their personality. I'm booking the appointment either, okay, well, they're super busy, can I come tomorrow at 7, just take a look around, they always like for me to preview properties before. Or it's, they're out of town for the next 2 weeks. Can I come and preview while they're out? And then when I get there too, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a video of the kitchen and say, hey, look, I know you're not in a hurry, but I'm gonna post this on my Instagram story if you're okay with that. Because now I'm starting to work for them, right? I'm starting to do some marketing for them. I'm not posting the address, I'm not posting anything else. But I'm saying, oh my gosh, love this kitchen. And then people are gonna talk about them like, wait, where's this at? I don't see it on Zillow or whatever, right? We're starting conversations. Questions for buyers letters. Perfect. So every day, when you have no business, your number one job is to find a business, right? That is my only job. I'm looking for new business. So I have time to talk to 5 past clients or people in my sphere a day. I have time to text 5 Zillow market analysis a day. I have the time to talk to 10 old leads, old seller leads, old buyer leads. I have time to circle dial, to talk to 10 people while you're circle dialing, you're gonna have to call 150 numbers. That's okay. You have nothing else to do. There's nothing else going on. Your number one job is to find new business, right? And then if you send 50, I have a buyer letters a day, and you can time block all of this. I leave an hour to hand address my buyer letters, print them out, stuff them, and send them. I'm giving myself an hour to circle dial. I'm giving myself an hour to call old leads. You can time block all of it, and your day's wide open. You have nothing else to do.
I love it. I've also considered paying high schoolers in my neighborhood to address my letters because it takes a toll on your hands. But
writing the letter.
Yeah, you can. I know some people that convert at a high level writing on the yellow like that. The yellow pads and sending them that way.
No, I just write on the website, right?
Yeah.
see, my handwriting's here.
That's fine too.
So if you had 35 conversations a day about real estate, what would happen to your business? Right.
Explode.
Yeah. When I first started, I'm sure a lot of you remember what it's like when you first got your license. It's like, okay, what now? Right. It's like, what do I do? And nobody's calling. You post it on Facebook, I got my real estate license. And then it's like, okay, now everybody's gonna follow this guy, right? Everybody loves me, everybody wants to work with me, right? You guys will work. No, that's not what happens, right?
Yeah.
So what we have to do is we have to find other business and then show people on Facebook and Instagram, hey, look, other people are trusting me with their real estate transactions. Now you guys can trust me.
Exactly.
But we have to find those other people. This is a conversation-based business. We're looking for people to raise their hand. We're looking for the yes. Book the appointment. Know your scripts to convert at the appointment. That's just about finding business when you have no business. A lot of info. I'll make sure Keith has a copy of this.
Absolutely. I mean, my big thing is it's the simplest that you can get coaches, you can take all the training, but it's simply, he broke it down. Having 35 conversations a day about real estate is so simple. It's not easy to do, but it's such a simple task. And that if you do it, as he said, your business will just go, skyrocket. But how many agents don't do it?
Yeah, I think that's all I have. Any other questions? I think there might be one other slide. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. My Instagram, my Facebook, my cell phone, text or call me anytime. I'm here to help. This is fun. Everything's gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be all right. We're gonna have to pick up the phone. So if you have a number that you don't know, just answer. It's probably an agent trying to talk to you about bringing an offer. Everything's gonna be all right. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna survive. And if you control the controllables, right? My coach has to remind me all the time, control the controllables, and everything that's out of your control will take care of itself, fall into place. Because what do we do, right? We have a few jobs. One, lead generate, lead follow up, pre-qualify, and give presentations. We put out fires and we fix flat tires. We calm situations. Everything's gonna be okay. We calm it. We put out fires. We fix flat tires. Let's get this tire off, get a new one on, get this thing, slap on the ass and back down the road, right? Or income producing income service, finding new business, servicing the income we already have. That's all we have to do. everything else will take care of itself. That's all I have. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah. Awesome, awesome. Let's see anybody chats. How's everybody doing? Anybody want to talk NAR settlement for 10 minutes? You don't have to. You guys do know, if you don't know, that the commission compensation field has already dropped out of TMLS. So I went on the hot sheets yesterday to see all the new listings. I didn't go through all 95 of them, but a good percentage of them said nothing in the remarks about any type of comp or buyer concessions is the way that we're supposed to be doing it if we're going to put it in the MLS. So I don't know if a bunch of people just didn't even realize it yesterday that the commission thing was gone and they just put their listing up, or it's gonna be a couple interesting. But I would definitely encourage everybody to check out those hot sheets as those listings are coming on and kind of get the nuances of what agents are doing and what they're saying. From what I understand, from now until the 17th is going to be the education period. So if people put their listings on there and they're breaking rules, they're just going to say, hey, look, this isn't good. You need to change it. And then after the 17th is when they'll start reprimanding first and then fining based on if people are breaking those rules. So the other thing that we had talked about is, and I don't